Here's our people.
Smoking cigarettes, as you are all aware of by now, is extremely bad for your health. What you might not be aware of is the extent of the damage that smoking imposes on not only your body, but the body of the people around your smoke as well. One thing I'd like to point out is that there is no benefit there's no benefit of smoking. Absolutely no benefit at all. Many smokers think that they are relieving stress. What they don't realize is the amount of stress that smoking creates in the first place. I want you all to stop smoking today. Cigarettes have caused thousands of deaths, so stop smoking before it's too late. I'd like to share a little bit of family history on the subject. I grew up in Kansas, in a small little rinky-dink town where even the classiest people are quite often seen smoking cigarettes in their cars as they drive by. Consequently, I grew up knowing quite a few people with lung cancer, several of those being my own grandparents. All four of them have died from lung cancer at one point or another in their lives. Each of them first started out with emphysema that later progressed into the lung cancer that took their lives. Today, both of my parents also have emphysema that could possibly turn into lung cancer later on, although each of them quit smoking approximately 20 years ago. Alright, so using my family as the example shows how common it is for cigarettes to claim the lives of those who use them. According to the American Cancer Society, smoking claims more lives than drugs, alcohol, homicide, AIDS, and car accidents combined. Total together, it's a whopping 440,000 deaths that are caused by cigarettes each year. 30% of all cancer deaths are also related to smoking, with 87% of all lung cancer cases being caused by cigarettes. Aside from the obvious health risks that cigarettes impose on those who actually use them, secondhand smoke kills people who are around them as well. Secondhand smoke causes instant harmful effects to the cardiovascular system for those who are in the immediate area breathing in the smoke into their lungs, because cigarettes decrease the amount of oxygen in your blood. It raises your heart rate because it needs to work a little harder to get that blood through your system. Children, because they're not quite as developed as adults, are at a higher risk. They have smaller lungs, thus also a higher respiration rate, so they are breathing more off. I'm sorry, let me try to restate that. They're taking in more breaths per minute than an adult would, which would cause them to suck in more cigarette smoke. And several of the other problems that they are at risk for are asthma, respiratory infections, ear infections, and behavioral problems as well. One thing that you all may not be aware of is that secondhand smoke is actually responsible for about 54,000 deaths each year. So here's a question I'd like to ask you all. What do you think is in a cigarette? And without looking up at the screen, Liz, what would you think would be in a cigarette? Tobacco. Okay, besides tobacco, there are more than 4,000 other chemicals that tobacco companies put into the cigarettes to make them a little more enhanced, to make the flavor better, the smokability, so that people come back and continue to buy their cigarettes. Some of those chemicals included are arsenic, which is a rat poison, carbon monoxide, ammonia, it's a household cleaner, that's also in cigarettes, plus 400 other toxins. I'm not sure if you can see over here, but methanol, that's rocket fuel, that's also in cigarettes, as well as hydrogen cyanide, which is the poison used in gas chambers. Kind of creepy. Alright, so So what else happens to your body besides developing lung cancer and having cardiovascular disease? Well, like I said earlier, smoking cigarettes decreases the oxygen in your blood supply, thus causing premature aging. Your skin will be more wrinkled due to a lack of oxygen. You'll have less energy. Periodontal disease is also quite common. Periodontal disease is a disease that causes your gums to become inflamed and eventually your teeth may rot out. And then increased heart rate. And as many of us know, the famous smoker's lung. Here's a picture of a healthy lung of someone who does not smoke. And then this is the lung of someone who does smoke. Pretty nasty, huh? And as you can see here, the heart of a smoker is also larger due to the fact that it has to try harder to pump the blood through the body, getting that oxygen throughout all the veins. So another good reason to stop smoking besides your own health is that you should be a positive role model for your children. And children are much more likely to become smokers as they become adults. You know, monkey see, monkey do. If they see you smoking, they're much more likely to do it as well. And 85% of smokers begin smoking before their 16th birthday, so it's important to instill it in them as soon as possible. So the life expectancy for a smoker, you can expect to live approximately 10 to 12 years less if you're a smoker than you would if you were not a smoker. Half of all smokers will die due to some sort of a smoking-related disease, i.e. lung cancer, throat cancer, cardiovascular disease, heart attack, and so on. So here's some other reasons to quit smoking. Each pack of cigarettes costs approximately $5. Most smokers tend to smoke about a pack of cigarettes a day, equating to about $150 per month. So that'd be $150 in your pocket that you wouldn't have to pay. For many people, that might be a car payment. Also your breath. You'll notice a much better breath. Body odor. Smokers tend to stink. You can smell them as they walk by. Your social life could improve, as well as pride. I could imagine someone who quit smoking would have a lot more pride in themselves. So how to quit? That's the big question for a lot of people. Quitting is no easy task, as cigarettes are highly addictive. So one way to go is cold turkey, which could be really hard for some people. Tapering, gradually smoking less and less each day could help out. There are patches and gum that you can purchase at Walmart or any drugstore that each contain a small dose of nicotine that will help you gradually quit. Smoking cessation classes can help out psychologically, help you prepare for quitting. And there's also medications that people can take to wean them from having that addiction, as well as support groups. Anytime you're doing something that's really difficult, a support group is really important. And the biggest thing is willpower. You got to be strong. You know, promise yourself that you can do it and stick to your plan. So as you all walk out to your cars tonight and prepare to light that cigarette, pause for a moment and ask yourself this question. What will I gain from smoking a cigarette? And after you have answered that question, ask yourself another one. What am I losing? I tell you this, every second that you spend smoking is a second lost. Not only have you voluntarily forfeited your right to a long and healthy life, you have selfishly cheated your family out of spending it with you. Thank you.